Now it's time for RTB 101. This is the segment where we talk about practical questions to help equip you to share your faith with friends and family more effectively. And I'm here again with my colleague and evangelist, Dr. Hugh Ross.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
And you know, Hugh, recently I saw that there was a Barna study that 51% of Christians don't know what the Great Commission is. And since the name of this show is 2819, I think we better talk about this.
Okay.
What is the Great Commission?
Well, it is in Matthew 28:19, which is basically Jesus telling his disciples, I'm calling you to go out into the entire world to preach the gospel.
And that is the responsibility of every Christian.
Right.
And so part of this show is helping our viewers get equipped to do that. Now, I think that you are one of the preeminent evangelists of our time. And I don't know if I've ever told you that, but I really believe that. And I think that that is going to be one of your great legacies. And the thing is, though, that sometimes we as Christians have a tendency to think that what we need to do is get all our unsaved friends lined up and bring them to the person that has the gift of evangelism. But that's not really how that works, is it?
No, because you won't find the gift of evangelism in Scripture, which you find instead as a command for all believers to be involved in evangelism, which is basically presenting the good news of salvation through Jesus Christ, and then after they give their lives to Jesus Christ, equipping them to become effective disciples, which means you actually equip them to be effective in bringing other people to faith in Jesus Christ. Because nobody can do it by themselves. We need to be raising up people to be able to do that very thing.
And there was another study a couple of years ago that showed that a large number of Christians think that sharing their faith is important. They think we ought to be doing that. Like it's a high percentage, like 85, 90% of Christians think we should. But then it's actually a small percentage of people who actually do
it. Right.
And it's like maybe 10% or less. What are some practical steps that we could take if we are not actually engaging in the Great Commission? What could we do to start doing that?
Well, 1 Peter 3:15 says, develop good reasons. If you don't have good reasons, you're going to be terrified about sharing your faith. So develop good reasons. Then get out of the Christian cocoon. A lot of Christians surround themselves with nothing but believers. They don't have any contact with unbelievers. And that's what Jesus said, go out from Jerusalem to all the parts of the earth, which means actually mingle with the unbelievers out there and let your character in Christ shine. That's another component that we see in 1 Peter 3:15. We're to share these good reasons with gentleness, respect, and a clear conscience. So we need to build that character of Christ within us, but develop the good reasons, then practice. Don't be surprised if the first few times you share your faith, it doesn't go well. It's going to take practice, but guess what? That practice is going to help to build Christian character in you. That's a good thing for yourself personally.
That's so good. And so if I don't have any unsaved friends, maybe I better get some, or maybe I better start hanging around some places where unsaved people are.
Or go to an airport. I mean, go someplace where non-Christians hang out.
But what I've done is I just started asking the Lord to bring me some unsaved friends in my life so that I could have some more people to talk to, because if you have surrounded yourself with Christians, you've got to start taking those steps to get some more unbelievers in your life.
And they don't have to be close friends. I mean, you can talk to people in the grocery line. I mean,
I love that.
When I go for a run in the morning, I meet people and talk to them. So
everywhere you go, bringing the kingdom.
Yeah.
I love that. And then I think your second piece of advice there is just so good that it might not go well. And that's been so true as I've learned to share my faith. But don't let that deter you.
Well, realize that God's got options. If he wanted it done perfectly, he would have sent the angels.
Okay.
He sends us sinner human beings instead. Why? Because he knows we're going to benefit from sharing our faith. We're not just benefiting the people we're encountering. It's going to have a personal benefit for us. So get started. And
take some risks.
Take some risks. Realize you're probably going to make some mistakes, but you're going to learn from your mistakes. And I've often found it's good to actually talk to the non-Christians and say, Tell me where I'm being obnoxious in my presentation.
Asking for feedback.
Ask for feedback, and I found out they're really willing to tell you.
That's so good. Got to be brave to do that.
Right.
So Matthew 28:19, that's what this show is about,
Correct.
and that is the Great Commission. And I want to encourage you to check out Hugh's blog, New Reasons to Believe. It's at reasons.org.